Welcome to the short introduction on agilesWorkflow, the workflow solution certified for Microsoft Dynamics NAV. The next generation of NAV 2009. The Microsoft Role-Tailored User Experience brochure talks about how business management software has simplified business processes, and that the role-tailored approach takes it one step further. agilesWorkflow takes it a leap forward. Let me show you why. I'm now Inga, the Purchasing Manager. I log into NAV 2009 and on my Role Center, as we know, I see all the documents that are relevant to my role, in this case, purchase orders. But now, with agilesWorkflow, I can also see all the to-dos that I'm responsible for. The workflow engine automatically populates this based on the company's workflows. It even automatically updates my to-dos status, whether it might be critical or even overdue. My overdue stack tells me that I have 3 overdue to-dos. By clicking on that stack, I can see the list of my to-dos and work through the highest priority to-dos. So it means that I know exactly what I need to do and when. I'm focused on the important tasks and I won't forget anything. And with the integration to Outlook, it means if I'm a user that doesn't spend a lot of time in NAV, then I can automatically receive email notifications about my important to-dos. And perhaps when those to-dos move from waiting to a now to-do, or to critical, or to overdue. So it really helps employees keep track. Now also from a manager's point of view, I have more information and more transparency into workflows and processes, and also employees' workflows and performance. For example, I can easily view the workload of each of the people in my purchasing team and the status of their to-dos. So managers can get a constant overview of upcoming and current work for the different team members, perhaps who's overloaded, that kind of thing. Now, I might want to have a look at the overall workflow perspective. That's where I can use my workflow list, because here I have a list of all the workflows that are relevant to my role. For example, the purchase order workflow. Here I can see that I have 2 open purchase orders workflows, and actually one of those are critical. So let's drill into that and see why that workflow is critical. Okay, we can see that this purchase order workflow, which is triggered automatically when somebody enters in a purchase order, is actually broken up into 3 parts, or 3 to-do groups. We can immediately see where the problem is. It's in the initial steps. So let's drill into that. Under that, I get a list of all the to-dos in that to-do group. Send purchase orders to supplier, that's been completed. To store the order confirmation, that's a document storage, also been completed. To request the transport documents, we've got those, but I can very clearly see that the examine transport documents has not been done, and it's now moved to a critical phase. So see how managers can immediately see if there are potential problems, if something might have been missed, if there's a possible delay, that kind of thing. And what's really important is what I've shown you here is from the purchase manager's perspective, or purchasing department. But it does not matter what kind of department we're in, what kind of workflow, or what the trigger might be for the workflow. You can now manage it a lot more powerfully with the agilesWorkflow extension. So let's take a look at what customers are saying. Firstly, employee productivity. Customers are now saying that because the employees are guided through their daily work, employee productivity increases. But not just because of that, but also because the workflow engine can automate tasks. For example, a task might be to block or unblock a customer, release a purchase order, check some data, whatever it might be. If it's a repetitive action in NAV, then let the workflow engine do it for the employee. So because of the automation, that means workload is reduced, and again, up goes employee productivity. Better control. They can now avoid costly problems and mistakes because everything's under better control. And importantly, that means that business risk is reduced because they can be sure everything, all processes are being done in the correct way. So now managers and business owners can be 100% sure that the business is under better control and that they're giving employees the best tool to be productive. Thanks for listening to agilesWorkflow, guidance when you need it.